Hello there, and good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Witching Hour. That is the BC WrestlePod YouTube channel and everywhere else we got going on here.
Aha! I didn't see you there.
Essentially, yes. Oh man, you already know when me and Radio Will get together, it's about to be a good time.
And
Love it.
it's an even better time when TNA actually decides to put on a halfway decent episode of Impact. You know?
More like this, please.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought the pacing was good. I felt like we balanced out in ring with some backstage stuff and advancements. So, you know what? Let's do it again.
and honestly, like two of the same, like as I'm watching the episode and they're saying like, all right, this is what we've got coming up tonight. I'm looking at the card and I'm like, oh, this is not gonna be good. This is gonna be rough. And no, I was pleasantly surprised.
I was like, see what happens when you actually give a hoot. TNA.
Seriously.
Love it. Be like, yes, I love this episode.
Well,
really quick.
There is one exception. Hey, yes. Nick, how's it going? There is one exception, and although it is to its benefit, you say like this is what happens when you give a hoot. There is one match in here that this is what happens when you don't give a hoot, and it worked. So we'll get into that when we get to it.
Absolutely. So before we get into TNA proper, because we will be covering the Thursday, May 7th edition of the show, really quickly to run through the intro. I mean, at this point, we live on the internet. You can find us pretty much almost every day going live in sub capacity, both for our weekly television, televised programs here in the States to other places around the world. So you can find us going live there, as well as watching edited versions of these lives the day after on the YouTubes, which is really, really great. BC WrestlePod is our social media handle. Pick your favorite site. You can find report cards, predictions, clips of our shows because Lord knows companies are striking down people right now, which is insane. But I was just like, listen, I just want to say this. My heart goes out to all these reaction content because no one's content deserves to be struck down like that. But at the same time, I'm like, y'all are getting off easy because let me tell you, New Japan don't fucking play. Japan is insane.
So before we get into the episode of Impact, because I have a platform and I have not had a chance to really talk about this. I've been super burnt out, haven't really felt like making any social media stuff like on TikTok or anything like that to this effect. But now it's easy for me to say this because I haven't really been engaging with their content for a long time at this point. But boycott WWE. Seriously. This entire thing of releasing 24 wrestlers for the sake of, we need to cut pay and cut costs and everything like that. Meanwhile, everybody on TKO is like tripling their value. Yeah, no, fuck them, fuck TKO, fuck WWE.
And that was number one of Will's multi-part TED Talks tonight.
I for one cannot wait the 3 months that it's going to take to see the Young Bucks versus whatever the New Day call themselves when they get to AEW. Like honestly, I did like. You know what? It was. There's an AEW pay-per-view. Is it this weekend or next weekend?
It is in 2 weeks, so Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing, yeah. Like, and Jericho has like a mystery tag team as allies, or like he's bringing, and I am hoping against hope that the New Day were able to sort of negotiate out of the non-compete clause, so that basically Chris Jericho can just come out and just do his best Big E impression and say, AEW, only wrestling, don't you dare feel sour. Clap your hands and feel the power. And just let Kofi and Xavier come out. I mean, I know they're not, well, Kofi is Kofi Kingston's real first name, so he can still use that. He can still go by that. But like whether it's Austin Creed or some other or Consequences Creed or like whatever, because and I know his real name is like Austin Watson or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, or if he goes by his real name, then like let them come out, get them to AEW like yesterday.
Oh, absolutely. We'll see how that happens. And if not, then there's a certain international AEW show happening at the end of August. So I don't know, man. We'll see. But no, yeah. So that has been Will's TED Talk for number one tonight. So who knows? But like I said, I do have a quick announcement though. He finished graduation today. The school year is officially over. So hopefully, barring, natural disasters, tornado warnings, the existential dread of academia, we will get we will get to Papa also will back starting next week. So
return of the Battle of Wills.
Yes, the Battle of Wills, and me sandwiched between both of them while I'm like, you're right. I love this. Alrighty, let's just jump into the show because we do got some stuff to talk about. So let's get into what kicked off the show for us here, which
okay, this is the one I was talking about.
I figured
just like we don't give a fuck, just let him go. Like this whole by the time this match was over, my brain went into DBZ Abridged. Like he keeps kicking me in the dick. Why does he keep kicking me in the dick? There were more low blows in here than the extremely ruled match in Mystery Wrestling between London Lightning and Cecil Nix.
Gosh,
they just kept kicking each other in the dick.
Shout out Team 4-Star. They have raised many of us adults. With between that and Final Fantasy VII Abridged also.
Yep.
Oh Lord, a sweet dragoon on a cracker.
I kind of honestly, and I know I said this a couple of weeks ago. These two crazies just match up, and it's like I'm sitting here watching it. Here we've got someone whose gimmick is basically a conspiracy nut, and another guy whose gimmick is like hyper rich, like 1%er elite. This is politics. This is the right wing eating itself. And it's like this is what this match made me realize that Netflix. I was just on YouTube and I saw an ad for the Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano fight that's happening at some point. I don't care to see it, but here's the thing: when I heard that match was happening, who's gonna win? Trans people everywhere, because no matter what, a turf is gonna get the shit kicked out of them. Damn. So. And seeing this made me realize, hey, maybe there's some truth to that. Is some people watched, a couple of, the worst people, or at least in this case, people portraying some of the worst people in the world, just beat the shit out of each other and just keep kicking each other in the dick.
Eric Young is having fun in this picture with this, so why not?
He's
the energy that both of these two give off in this graphic for this match is amazing, and I love it. Thank you, TNA.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is fun.
It was, and it's weird to say that after a solid year of saying oh my god, Eric Young, shut the fuck up, and no, just let them kick each other in the dick and just call it remove any notion of seriousness. Have Eric Young slowly but surely transform from this the world is out to get me into this Al Snow level of the voices, Jerry, the voices telling me everything kind of crazy,
Oh my gosh, I cannot. And this feud is far from over too. It's not over
Yeah.
between these two, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm like, I'm kind of looking forward to see what craziness they're gonna get into next. Like, honestly. So no disqualification, tables, chairs, kendo sticks, the works. Eric Young wins. EC3 selling the hell out of that finisher was really cool to watch too. I was like, damn, you bounced. Like, what is happening?
There was one thing that like stood out to me as sort of a um what's the word I'm looking for? It broke the suspension of disbelief a little bit. Is when EC3 set up the table, he set it up right next to the ring, like it was basically touching the ring. But they didn't use it until like way later. So it was one of those things of like it was any table when you set up a table in a wrestling match, it's Chekhov's gun.
Right.
It's like it no matter, but like setting it up that way made it even more Chekhov's gunny. It made it more obvious.
Hmm.
So, and I know why he did it. It's because they were setting up for that pile driver spot later on, because you can't you can't jump 3 feet off of like from the ring apron through a table
Hmm.
as easily when you're holding another dude that's bigger than you upside down. So
Right.
it's like I get why they did it, but like doing it that early in the match for that much later in the match was like, guys, there's still a table over there, and it's awkwardly close to the ring. So anyway, it's a very minor nitpick in an otherwise just kind of bonkers match,
Truly.
in the most fun way.
No, absolutely. And you know what? Hey, this is our platform, and in the words of Trixie Mattel and Katya, welcome to because this is our show and not yours. Gosh, I love it. Alrighty, let's keep this show going though, because we got some other stuff to get into, like this backstage promo. I was like,
from from my mind to Gia Miller's mouth, it's
Gia Miller saying everything that we wanted to.
yeah.
Is basically telling us everything and saying everything that we have been saying, but on a televised platform. So I love Gia Miller as the queen of shade, but like backhanded. She's like, "So I'm an interviewer, but let me tell you, let me read you for filth, and then ask the question." Good God Almighty. So this is setting up which we would learn from here that this is our main event tonight, the TNA Knockouts Championship. Um, Ariana Grace shouldn't have to be defending her title because she's proved herself, and I'm like,
That's what the title is for.
I was like, girlfriend, this is
I
a
shouldn't have to
championship.
defend
Like,
the
what is?
title.
And then Stacks over here will be like, I got a plan. I'm like, listen, you meathead. I was like, we're tired of the shenanigans, but are we gonna watch? Yes. Gia Miller, keep doing the Lord's work. So
Absolutely.
we will be seeing Ariana in action later, and we would also unfortunately be seeing Stacks, but we'll get to that when we get to the main event. Promo from the system because they got 2 matches tonight. Do you want to know something, Will?
Normally, yes, but not when she announces it. It's like
I'm kind of mad. I was like, I kind of like Alicia Edwards when she was like not back with the system and she and Moose were
so
doing their own thing.
it's really funny. She had more screen time and lines when she was with Moose.
Mhm.
And now she's just kind of like now that she's back with the system, she's just kind of there. And it's like why would you do that?
I'm just like, if you were gonna put her back with her, she should be going for, I don't know, something. She should have a feud.
Yeah, seriously, like I don't know. Like this like it's the system talking, saying system things.
Yeah. Also, Edwards here. I'm mad that you're blocking Cedric Alexander in this photo. But like, it is what it is. I was like, they're I was just like, wow, the optics is crazy. Anywho,
Yeah.
moving on because okay. Hey, but you know what? At least it's an updated picture because it's not Elena doing both hands this time. She's only doing it with one hand. I was like, well, at least we updated the photo. Okay, so like, how do I tactfully say this and try to be as professional with it as possible?
Oh,
This
why start
devolves
now?
into why start this devolved into let's talk about who makes more money on OnlyFans and whether our Tiggle biddies are fake or not. Like it started off with Elena talking about she wants to come after the Knockouts Championship, and she is the best knockout in TNA. I'm like, you know what? I would probably say you're probably right, but the bar is not that high right now. Given with who we got left over. But I don't know. You guys still show me more, Elena. Love you, girl, but no. But then Ash by Elegance's concierge interrupts, and then it devolves into who makes more money on OnlyFans. Ash, I love you, girl, but no. I was like, oh no. And then Indy comes out, and you know what? Indy actually started okay. She's like, is this what we're really doing right now? I was just like, we're really talking about who makes more money on OnlyFans and if our boobs are fake or not. I was like, you know what, Indy? I'm kind of agreeing with you. And then it devolved into like a high school fight because then she called out Ash by Elegance, calling everything fake. Her boobs are fake. Her hair is fake. Her teeth are fake. She's fake. Elena Black is like, okay, I'm done my promo time. I'm about to leave. And she leaves. And then Indy and Ash fight. And that's how the segment ends. I was like, God damn it. I was like, oh, man. I was like, these are the three women that are currently vying for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. And I'm like, please, Lord God in heaven, to the wrestling deities that I subscribe to, this screams of Tommy Dreamer all over it. Please don't let him near this storyline again.
So what I'm hearing is that I can't imagine that Kairi Sane it would actually come to TNA. Like she is too big. I could see her going to AEW. I could see her going back. I could see her going to New Japan. I could see her maybe going to Stardom. But Zoe Stark? Can we get like Zoe Stark in on this so that we can get like an actual like competitor in this? Or like
her and Daria have already had like working relationship before too, so why not?
And like I'm not a huge fan of Nikki Cross, but she would fit in real good with the Undead Realm. Like
she could be the third, and we can bring back the new version of the Death Dolls. Yes.
Let's get a Spooky Bitches trio. I am down for a Spooky Bitches trio.
Well, I'm going to agree with my compatriot here. I was just like, we need more women because like if this is the storyline we're going into like who are potential contenders for the TNA Knockouts Championship, and this is the storyline, the thread that we're going to be using.
It's really funny when you look at the if you'll pardon the pun, when you look at the impact of TNA on women's wrestling over the years, because for the longest time, they prided themselves on like our women's division is one of the best. It's like, and it was hard to argue with that for a long time. Then, credit where it's due, you had, the Four Horsewomen show up. Like, and I understand like there was a lot that led to the Four Horsewomen. Like, I mean, like you had like Paige showed up in there, and before Paige, like you had Lita and you had Chyna and stuff. Like there were a lot of stepping stones that led to that. But that was kind of the thing that changed everything, right? You had like Sasha Banks / Mercedes Moné, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch. Like that's what really changed everything when it comes to the women's division of any given promotion, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so now here we are 10 years later, right? And we have some genuine, like, top-notch competitors out there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at like, even like, if you look at WWE, if you look at AEW, and you see Tony Storm, you see oh my god, what's her name? She's in the Judgment Day, and not Liv Morgan.
Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez.
Raquel Rodriguez, that's the one I'm thinking of. She's fantastic. I think she's great. Jade Cargill, you know, like, these people that are out here that are put it like, their stories and their promos are like, no, I can kick your ass. And here we are in Impact, recycling the same shit that we were doing 15 years ago.
This screams diva era, and
yeah,
I hate it.
Exactly. And, like, put it this way, if this is the kind of stuff that they were building towards, I see why Danny Luna asked for her release.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm still not over Danny Luna leaving TNA.
You should not be.
I'm still not over it. And they
never got a Danny Luna title run as Knockouts champion, and I'm mad.
I'm not going to be over it until I see her show up in another promotion.
Right.
With, like, given the amount of, you know, like, push that she deserves.
Mm-hmm.
But so, like, and so, like I said, it's like, it's so weird to see this, like, Divas era, like, oh, look how fake you are, like, this Mean Girls bullshit, you know? And the worst part about this is the person that's calling it out as Mean Girls bullshit is Indy Hartwell.
Listen, I will stand Indy forever and a day, but I also agree. I was just like, you know what? Like, if she hadn't had a title, if she wasn't going in the title match tonight, I actually would have been like, you know what, Langley, you tell these girls everything. You read them.
And that's like,
just because you have an interesting story. You could actually use her actual background. She's like, I worked 8 years to get from China to here to wrestle in the United States, and I work my ass off. And this is what the thing.
These 3 women are the ones vying for the title. God. And it's like, and we're seeing, like, okay, we have this, you know, like, and once again, this is just based on their gimmicks, basically. So, like, we've got e-girl model Elena Black. We've got, look at how attractive I am, Ash by Elegance, and Indy Hartwell. And the 3 of them step up to Lei Ying Li, and she's just like, okay, who's first? Let's go.
That's the Henry Cavill. It's just like, all right, girl.
Yeah, cock the arms and let's go.
Girls. I was just like,
sorry, spoilers for the main event match, but
no, I'm gonna gush over because I'm like, thank God the curse is over for now. And I say for now because you know some TNA gonna be on some fuck shit later, probably, as they always tend to be. But for right now, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like, no, we cannot keep recycling this. So it's just like, women's wrestling is great, but, like, can we stop talking about OnlyFans and tickle bitties?
This was the low point of the episode, I think.
Definitely, and thank God everything else was a lot better than this. Like, well, Daria's out here calling.
Daria has a phone call.
Next. Listen, Daria's having a good time. I love her. I'm in support of her. And she sabotaged she made Santino somehow miss the flight or sabotage the plane. And I'm hoping that sabotage the plane is the option because I'm like, oh, we're doing subterfuge now? Okay. I mean, we're dressed in all black, so why not? Anyways, moving on. Yo, this match was kind of great. I loved it.
It was pretty good.
Also, hi, Casey. I'm glad you're back. And you continue to be on my screen. You are my saving hope.
I am still confused. Like, I am still kind of trying to wrap my head around the team of Nick Nemeth and Casey Navarro.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, I don't mind it, but it is like Nick, like you were a heel like 2 weeks ago,
And now we're like towing the
and
line.
and now you're a but now you're tagging with a baby face, and you still have the Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy.
And you let Mike
and you
Santana
still-
last week know. Like
it's like, bro, pick a story, please.
or even better, TNA, pick a character, pick a side for Nick Nemeth.
Like,
please let him be a face or be a heel, but like keep bouncing him back and forth depending on who he goes up against. Also, by the way, I will say, even though I didn't get the show yet last week, but it was hilarious to just watch Ryan Nemeth, just go through a whole entire therapy session about Nick teaming with Casey instead of him. And his therapist happened to be AJ Francis, which was hilarious to watch last week. But
speaking of which, before we get too far away from the Elena Black promo, when she started talking about money, I was saying like, wait, is she going to join First Class? Because I could see that. I could like if they want to like pair her with First Class, and like I think that could be solid. I think that could be a solid move for her.
That would be fantastic. Her and AJ would be insufferable, and that would be the best. I love it.
They would be the worst together in the best way possible.
So toxic. Anyways, but I agree with you. I'm still trying to figure out what side of the wrestling trope fence that Nick Nemeth is going to be on. Mm-hmm. But I enjoyed this match.
And like, I'm not against wrestlers being tweeners. It's fine for them being tweeners, but Nick Nemeth does not make a good tweener. Like, if you wanted to make like, you could do that with Eddie Edwards. You could do that with Mike Santana. You could do that with Moose. You can't, like, Nick Nemeth is way too much of, he's too much of a big personality, or his personality is such that you have to give him a more concrete character in terms of being a face or heel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, and just having him bounce around. It's like either have him tell off his brother and make him full baby face, or reveal that like the Nemeths have been working with AJ Francis the whole time, and tear Casey Navarro's other ACL in kayfabe or something. I'm not actually wishing further injury on him, but you know what I mean. It's
100%. So again, the match itself was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. The numbers game obviously did not work in Nick and Casey's favor, as the system would retain the TNA Tag Team Championships. And they decided not to wait because they cut a promo, which led immediately into the next match.
This one impressed the hell out of me.
Listen,
and I saw this one and it's like, okay, here we go. And then I feel like this is one of those matches that we've seen a bunch already. Like, we've seen this exact match numerous times over the past few months. Like, two members of the system versus Leon Slater and Moose.
Mm-hmm.
This one in particular, though, all four of these guys left everything in the ring.
Man, this was awesome.
This was like one of, like, there was a spot in here. You see double downs all the time. I think this might be the first quadruple down in recent memory. Like, I would really have to start digging around to see, like, if there was ever a moment, like, if it's a tag team match and just all four men were just laid out in the ring,
Mm-hmm. But man, what a tag team match. Of course, the story we've been telling so far is that Leon Slater and Moose got, have business to take care of with the system. Moose and Leon Slater were, unfortunately, they found themselves in that 4-on-2 handicap match 2 weeks ago, in which Leon and Moose lost to the system because, numbers game.
Right.
Cedric Alexander is going to be facing Leon Slater next week for the X Division Championship. Eddie Edwards and Moose still got beef with everything that's been going on. But damn, man, this match ruled, and Leon Slater and Moose got the lick back. So technically, we're like 1-1. So next week is going to be especially with Leon and Cedric, it's going to be very interesting to say. Now, on the one hand, I have a little worry and trepidation because we keep getting told from commentary as well as all other parts of TNA social media that Leon Slater that next Thursday he will become the youngest and the longest reigning X Division champion in this company's history, which I was like, man, what a feat for Leon Slater should he get there.
Seriously.
But then because that he has to survive his 2 out of 3 falls match with Cedric Alexander for this title, I'm really worried. I'm like, TNA, don't fuck this kid over, please. Let him win. And then if you want to take it off him, just if you want to have him use option C, go for it. Because we're gonna talk about him a little bit later, but poor Mike Santana isn't doing nothing at the moment. We just kind of spinning our wheels with Mike, and that's some bullshit. But whatever, we'll get there when we get there. But please let Leon Slater get the win.
Hey, TNA, like, it's like, do you not have anyone that can challenge for Mike Santana's title? Is there like some sort of contest that you may have held where someone won a title shot of their choice that makes them parade around with a trophy kind of garishly, like to the ring and like holding it, lifting it like weights every time they show up, and like, oh right, the Call Your Shot Gauntlet.
Yeah, the Call Your Shot Gauntlet is still a thing. And TNA looked at it and be like, nah, bet we have a better idea. And we'll talk about that when we get to Mike Santana. But this match ruled. Leon Slater and Moose win. Good God. Please, TNA, give me more of these types of matches. And you know what?
It would be interesting if Leon Slater lost the X Division title, because we've said multiple times that he's just kind of he's one of these guys that's just kind of riding out his TNA contract before, so he can jump ship to one of the bigger shows. I don't think it's quite as guaranteed of him going to WWE anymore, but to go to either WWE or AEW, or at least for his sake, I would hope he's considering AEW as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if he does end up going to WWE, it would be kind of interesting, because now he and his, especially with the recent acquisition of his fellow Pursuit alumni, Mason Rook, who
he's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your dad, Will Cruz.
that is the weirdest thing about, like, again, I am all full steam ahead on boycotting WWE, but at the same time, I do not want to begrudge the people for whom this is their big opportunity. Like the people like Mason Rook and Joe Hendry and Danhausen, and there was somebody else, Evil, who, like, I know he's not going by Evil anymore, but you know what I mean. Like,
well, and I 100% agree with you. And like me and then one of our other co-hosts, Andrew, like we feel the same way, because Andrew is also very fuck WWE, but he's also not going to begrudge, and he is really happy for, a lot of our Progress folks that are now have debuted in NXT, Dorian Van Dux, formerly known as Mike DeVecchio, Mike D. You have Lizzie Rain, Miss Rain Leverkusen.
Yeah, she was like, I saw the clips of her, and she's freaking awesome.
My God, I was just like, oh yes. I was like, I'm so happy you're here. I'm excited to get the NXT boys who know nothing about Progress, and they've already loved her. I'm like, yes, good, because Rain Leverkusen is fantastic. But again, you have a lot of other folks too. Like you have, he's injured right now, but you have Ahil, Elio Lafleur, the French luchador from the European wrestling scene is a lot of fun as well. There's reports that Hiromu Takahashi is coming in really soon as well from New Japan. There's just a lot of good stuff. And yes, WWE, I'm still mad at you for everything that has transpired in the last 2 weeks. But I think Lizzie Rain, because I love Rain Leverkusen, and that finisher is fucking creative as fuck. And that's why I think I'm gravitating to her. So it's like, thank you. A fun finisher.
as someone who, when he was in high school, whenever he made a creator wrestler on the old, this is not one of the good WWE creator wrestler games. This was like Warzone or Attitude, one of the crappy ones. Like one of my go-to finishers was always an enziguri. Seeing someone who uses that kind of elevated enziguri as a finishing move was like, yes, that's the thing I wanted to do. Perfect. It's
the way she explained it too, because listen, I also got beef with Busted Open and especially Bully Ray. But the way that she explained it on the show, though, she's like, I kind of wanted to do an Inseguri, but it's like a Inseguri mixed with like a Shining Wizard because I be nean people. And I love that she is just like, yeah, my favorite wrestler of all time is the legendary Japanese wrestler, Meiko Satamoto. I was like, oh my God, there's a reason I loved you, and now I love you even more because Meiko Satamoto is like my favorite female wrestler of all time, at least within like the last 15 years of wrestling. I think she's great. Anyways, back to TNA. This match ruled, and I was like, give us more of these on a weekly basis, TNA. And you know what? Yes, let's go.
please.
Okay. So I know I have how do I say this without getting canceled? I understand the appeal of the broken universe. I am not that person, but that is okay, and I'm not going to yuck someone's yum. I will say though, I did like the presentation of this and the camera work of the duality of these glass panes between the Hardys and the Righteous. But I'm also saying, please God, let this be done and over with because they've been fighting for months.
Let the Righteous fight somebody else. Like I'm scared for them. Because like once this feud does end, which I don't know how it's going to,
that's my biggest question too. I'm like, what is the end goal here? Where are we going? Like what is the finale?
Hear me out.
Linda.
Because if TNA is genuinely going to be thinking about acquiring some of the folks that were just released from the WWE, and if said talent is open to working with TNA while they have, I'm hoping, given the results of the main event tonight from this episode, I'm hoping that's a sign that they are sort of taking the WWE training wheels off and are now going to start going in their own direction.
Especially because with NXT, like, again, as your NXT person here as well, with NXT being in also a reset as well because, of the call-ups from the likes of Ricky Saints and Ethan Page and Sol Ruka. And now they're debuting a lot of their Evolve and international talent that they signed to. Right. Hopefully that means that TNA be like, okay, so we're going to put a pause on our break. Let's build our own stuff before we start putting other, the B squad of Evolve and NXT back in.
If you want to give the Righteous a fun opponent, the Wyatt Six.
Yep. When those 90 days are up, man, let's go.
Honestly, even if it's not the entire Wyatt Six,
it could be Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy.
Exactly. Shit. That's exactly what I was just gonna just bring over
Dexter Lumis, Samuel Shaw is what his name was when he was in TNA. Yes, this man was in TNA before he went to NXT. So you can have that. And Joe Gacy is beloved. Like Sami Callihan always talks about Joe Gacy, like any chance he gets too. And with Sami Callihan being back now in a backstage position, I was like, listen, Samuel Shaw and Joe Gacy would be great. Also, even though it's not WWE, the weirdo in me would love an Indy and Josh Samuel reunion too. Because when those two worked together in NXT, that was probably some of Indy's best work. I'm not gonna lie. Index is still alive.
So there is a part of me that send Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, have them bring that sort of Wyatt Six kind of thing. Even have Bo Dallas do it too. Like the one person of the Wyatt Six that I would want to see actually go to AEW is Eric Rowan.
Yes, send that man over there.
Give him a shot in AEW, and
I want him and Brody King just to fight, just because I'm messy.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a big meat match, and also the sweats.
Yes.
Anyways, listen, I will fill you in on a secret, Will. Like, the AEW folks know this, but like every time we talk about Brody King, I was just like, Brody King is my man. I love him because of his platform and what he stands for, and he is unofficially my baby daddy. He's also a great human being outside of his character too. And I was just like, God, I love you. And also I love you, Speedball Mike Bailey, because you don't take life too seriously. Also, you coming up with the with the trio's name between you, Kevin Knight, and Hangman Adam Page in Lifetime was fucking hilarious. Also, you outed Hangman as reading the fan fictions for the AEW wrestlers in your vlog was also hilarious. Hangman is also one of us too. Love hangers. Anyways, I don't know what the end goal is between this feud. My hope is that the righteous end up being the ultimate victors wherever the end point is. But knowing TNA, they're gonna pull some fuck shit, and it ain't gonna be like that.
I'm really hoping that this is an extended program to let the Hardys eventually put the righteous over.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping, man. I was like, now that the titles aren't on the Hardys, I feel like y'all can let the righteous win, and both teams can still, put them over. Nobody loses anything from here, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, let's keep going though, because Mike Santana, I love you, but TNA, what are we doing? Why is Mike not fighting bitches left and right every week? Like, what is happening?
Well, like, too many bitches have non-compete clauses.
That is also very true. And again, let's go back to what you said earlier in the show. There is a Shawn Michaels at home running around with the call your shot gauntlet.
Shawn Michaels at home.
We got Shawn Michaels at home. So you got Shawn Michaels at home, Nick Kevin, running around with the call your shot gauntlet trophy. I was like, okay, we can kind of build a story around that. Like, you never know when I'm going to cash it in. But no, Daria has the best idea ever, and TNA be like, bet. You know what? We hear you, fans. We want Mike Santana to defend it. Y'all really enjoyed him and Rich Swann going at it, and that match was still banging. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna find another person to fight Mike Santana. And how are we gonna do that? You're gonna let Nick Nemeth use his call your shot gauntlet? No, we're gonna hold a battle royale to determine the number one contender. Me at home. God damn it, TNA. God damn it.
You know what that means? TNA World Champion, Hometown Man.
Oh my God. If the Hometown Man wins, I kind of would be here for this fight. Not even going front. But I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh God, who's about to win this battle royale? Here's the thing. And I know, I am a firm believer of second chances. I am a firm believer if sometimes wrestling needs to run it back. Because of the way it ended the first time, I would not be upset if we ran Mike and Steve Macklin and them actually getting a proper match, because the last time they were supposed to, real life, X was thrown up during the pay-per-view. I would like them to actually be able to fight it out the way that we were supposed to get it originally.
So I'm thinking, like, who could be in this battle royale that could potentially win it as like a genuine potential opponent, right? Macklin, great idea. If he's back fighting fit, run it back. Try it, like, take two, use take two.
Give them the proper fight. Yeah.
Another one that I could see it working for is AJ Francis.
I would love AJ, because that'd be also great for Mike too, to go up against somebody who is as tall as him and AJ Francis.
Yeah. Another one that I could see, although it would be harder to write since they're both baby faces right now, is Trey Miguel.
Yes. Well, especially since he don't have the international championship.
Exactly.
And I don't think he's going to be out much longer due to Trey split his knee open against his match at when he ran into the steps at Rebellion, that when we watched it together. He finished the match, but he legit split it open. But if he's ready to go, Trey Miguel versus Mike Santana would be great.
Okay, hold on. The worst idea just popped into my head.
Of course you did. Spill it. Spill it to me, brother.
TNA, I am putting this out into the universe in order to exercise it, not to manifest it. Okay. That's exercise like exorcism. Okay. Not Ryan Nemeth.
Oh my God. Don't listen.
This is the opposite of a manifestation. Okay. This is a ban. This is a ward. I am preventing it from happening. Okay. Ryan Nemeth will not be involved in the Battle Royale, even though it would make for a really interesting story leading up to something like Slammiversary if he wins the Battle Royale, but Nick still has the Call Your Shot gauntlet.
Trophy,
if you really wanted to split the Nemeths up, that would be a way to do it.
Yes.
And that way you have Mike squash Ryan and Nick cashes in.
Mm-hmm. That would be amazing.
That's actually a really good story. I'm kind of annoyed that I came up with it, but I'm kind of annoyed that it involves Ryan Nemeth getting that close to the world title.
Hey, but if he gets his comeuppance like we saw with him and Mario Sade, I'll be okay with that, honestly.
Yeah.
But obviously I would love our 3 picks over Ryan Nemeth, Steve Macklin, Trey Miguel, like I would be okay with that. And you know what?
And that's I think AJ Francis would be interesting from just a mechanical perspective, because Mike Santana is, I mean, I've compared him to Stone Cold. He's also very Eddie Kingston-ish in the sense, they're both very sort of scrappy brawler kind of guys. That kind of strategy doesn't work so well against someone that's AJ's size. So it's
Mike would have to pull out the stops.
Yeah. So it's, and that would be kind of interesting. And I'm a little biased because I like AJ Francis. So
I like AJ too. I think he's probably on the men's side of things. I think he is the strongest heel that they got that doesn't have me annoyed with him.
Yeah.
So, but who knows? We'll see what happens because we'll see what goes down next week because we got to get through him and Casey's match first, and then we can figure that out. But let's keep this going. Speaking of AJ, hi AJ. He had words for Casey, and Casey had words for him, and we're getting a street fight next Thursday between the two of them, and I'm actually kind of here for it.
Yeah.
Give this feud a proper closure that we didn't get due to Casey getting injured when we were about to. So,
yep.
So, I understand why they call it the Snacktown street fight, but I was like, there are other nicknames as a residential Californian. There are other nicknames.
Yes, the town of Stack.
We could have called it the Bay Area Brawl or something like that. Like, listen, you could have called our friend Rev. He literally lives in the Bay Area. You could have called our friend, man. Anyways, that match is happening next week on Thursday. Speaking of which, this is all the matches that we have currently scheduled for next week's episode. We got our TNA World Championship #1 contender battle royale. We have the Sacktown street fight between AJ Francis and Casey Navarro. We are also getting a tag team match between our newly returned Undead Girlies, Rosemary and Allie, taking on Mila Moore and Victoria Crawford of the Diamond Collective. And then what I'm assuming is probably going to main event the show, and I hope main events the show, the 2 out of 3 falls match for the X Division Championship between Leon Slater and Cedric Alexander. Please give them the time because I smell a potential match of the year for me. Hopefully. We'll see. Anyways, but that is coming to us next Thursday. Main event time, Will. Here we go. TNA Knockouts World Championship, and thank the wrestling gods that, spoiler alert, all is right in TNA because now they got all their belts back because Liang Li wins the title back from Ariana Grace, and now it's a 2-time TNA Knockouts World Champion. I will say, I was a little bit frightened when we got backstage and we saw Zaya Brookside dressed in all black, staring at the screen. I'm like, she's staring at my soul, and I'm uncomfortable. And I'm actually, I would kind of want this to be her character now, just like this dark angel, if you will. I was like, I'm frightened, but honestly, it would be an interesting character.
The second coming of Christopher Daniels, right? Or was he? Or he was Fallen Angel, wasn't he?
The Fallen Angel.
Fallen
Yeah.
Angel, not Dark Angel, right?
She spent
Yeah.
time with Julia Hart and learned her ways.
There you go. Yeah. No, this is. I'm. You know what? All I have to say is what every good referee says whenever someone has been interfering entirely too much with a particular match. Out of here. Go back to NXT, end this relationship, like officially sever the ties between TNA and NXT so that TNA can start doing its own thing again.
Yeah,
not even pause. Don't even pause. Just end it. Cut. Thank you. That's a wrap, everybody, for the TNA and NXT crossover. TNA will now continue on its merry way with people that actually are going to that haven't decided to completely sell their soul for the art form that they love. Just my only request that you give Matt Cardona back to us before you go.
Well, who knows? Because love Matthew Cardona. Also love his waifu Chelsea Green. Chelsea, I think will be okay. But right now, I'm like, Matthew, you in trouble, girl. But we'll see what happens.
Wow, what happened with what's going on with Cardona?
Listen, I'm not one of those people be like, he's being buried, but we're not really. He's kind of just spinning his wheels right now on SmackDown.
Oh, so he is to SmackDown what LA Knight is to Raw. Got it.
Essentially, yes.
The person that the entire audience loves, and the promotion's just like, who?
Listen, I will also say though, because this is me being messy. If Brody King is my baby daddy, LA Knight is my sugar daddy. Anyways.
Yeah.
Will's like, oh yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Listen, we could go on a whole tangent because I was just like, what is it like? The world, like the wrestling gods, just must hate this man. Like,
you know what? Honestly, at this point, with so many wrestlers being released, and him having the status that he has in other promotions, having come from TNA and NWA and everything like that, just let him come back to this. Let him come, like have LA Knight is great. Have Eli Drake come back.
Oh my God,
he'd be just as welcome. It's it would be, he would be much more, he would be better utilized here. Like if, oh God, that's going to be the Battle Royale, isn't it? Shit. There's going to be NXT people in the Battle Royale next week.
Well, we'll see what happens. Who knows? Well, Will, I also have some other bad breaking news for you on this one. It has kind of gone away for a little bit. We've been doing okay so far, but next week, Thursday's episode is live. No.
All right, I'm ready.
Oh no! Stop it! Put the camera back right now. Listen, I am not a production person, right? But like between the live TNA episodes and Progress, I love you dearly. I truly do. You got some really great British wrestling, and I love covering it. But damn it, y'all, we need to fix production issues like right now. Especially you, Progress. You're in the same venue for every show. How is it the video and audio is still ass? Anyways.
Hey, they basically said, hey, it was fine for PWG. We'll be all right.
Oh God. But yeah, so next week's episode is the live Thursday episode, and I'm like, please, TNA, get your production in order because I actually am excited for the matches we're getting. But please, the production is also part of my grade. Don't give me good wrestling and ass production because we're not going to make it very far.
Oh, speaking of the future TNA live events, I did see that they have recently released pretty much all of the tickets now for Slammiversary, which is going to be in Boston near me. Unfortunately, that's in July, which means I am spending that month getting ready for Gen Con. So,
You said Slammiversary, right?
yeah, I did.
I think no, Slammiversary is in June. It's June 28th.
In either case, I need to be saving as much money as possible for
No,
Gen Con
totally.
because that is
Slammiversary is also going to be. Also, this is tangentially related to TNA because this is news for us. Oh, by the way, Moose was attacked backstage.
Moose got hit.
m-
This and that is something that you will never see in Boston because we break for Moose.
I love that. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So there is news because yes, Slammiversary for TNA is going to be on Sunday, June 28th. News has come out that TNA will be starting their pay-per-view at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And many people will be like, why so early? Well, y'all, for those, thankfully, some of y'all clocked it because you follow along with BC WrestlePod. There's also another pay-per-view happening that day in San Jose, California. You know, something about a door being open forbiddenly.
Oh shit!
It's the same. Yep, it's the same day as Forbidden Door, and TNA is like, "Fuck this! We are not trying to compete with that." So they pulled they put an AEW y'all in Texas and decided to start early in the afternoon, which I'm like, thank God. Which
smart.
I was like, honestly, I'd be like, I like that because then I can watch Slammiversary and then I can it leads into Forbidden Door for me in the evening. I'm like, score. Also, again, I will say this till the cows come home. I'm happy I'm going on this vacation because it's been a long time planning this thing, but I am still fighting myself because our good friend Rev, he invited me to go stay with him and go with him to Forbidden Door. And I'm like, if I wasn't going on vacation the next day, I would have. No. And who knows when Forbidden Door will ever come back to California. I'm like, no. Anyways, but Rev is going, and I'm really happy that Rev is going. And I'm like, take pictures for me. Anyways, but yeah, not a bad TNA episode. And TNA, if you listen to this show ever, please give us more of the stuff that we saw on the show that we really enjoyed, because then, you know, it would be a good sign to get us back to where we need to. Also, I don't know if it was just a one-time thing, but I prefer Daria giving championship belts than Carlos Silva. So I think, you know what, Daria, I'm okay with you giving the belts and leaving because she didn't stay that long. She gave the belt and left.
Although, to be fair, the baseball cap does kind of clash with the suit.
It really does. Girl, if we're going to wear a hat, it needs to be black and we need to get you something cooler. I was like, anywho, but that was our TNA post show. So, Radio, thank you for being here. This was a fun one. I had a good time. Fridays are always good. And like I said, hopefully, pending, non-tornado warnings, or the grid in Texas being overblown due to the heat, because y'all, it's getting hot. It's 102 here in California, and it's going to be 109 next week. I was just like, the devil is back in town, y'all. So it's going to be hot, but we should have Papa Oso back. So then, the Battle of the Wills will be back in full effect for the summer. And then I'll leave you two high and dry because I'll be on vacation. Be like, hi, like, guys, spring was great. We did some good stuff. I'm happy you're here. Bye. No, but I'm excited to have everyone slowly starting to come back. Spring is always freaking busy for all of us in some capacity, myself included. But we got a really fun. Well, okay. Fun is a subjective word. And I know we went on a whole fuck WWE, but I will be hanging out with some friends doing a watch along for Backlash, but my friends promised to be a drunken mess and it's going to be chaotic as fuck. And I'm here for it. I was like, it's going to be mess. And we're going to be live with that mess. I will be sober because I will be the DD online to make sure everyone gets home safely and take pictures and videos for content and blackmail later. But outside of that, next week is also next week is nice because we're back to a regular scheduled programming that doesn't involve every independent show going to Las Vegas and having something to do. So it is regular AEW, NXT, CMLL, TNA. And then the following week, we will be finally reviewing our first Ring of Honor pay-per-view of the year, Supercard of Honor, taking place in Maryland. So that should be fun. And we'll see if the Fallen Goddess loses her title. Probably not, but you know what? ROH can surprise me. So we'll see how that goes. But thank you for being here this evening. We got to go because me and Will are probably going to talk more about Final Fantasy. But it's also late for him, so I don't want to turn him. I gotta get him out of here in time before he turns back into a pumpkin, y'all.
Yep.
But from all of us here at BC WrestlePod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll see you tomorrow for the Backlash watch along. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.